Welcome to the Burgh Cave, where you need two things. You need one of these, and I know a little something about this. Grab your brew, come on in and talk to the fellas. Let's go. What is going on, people? What is going on? Welcome back. Another Monday night here in the Burgh Cave. We're going to take a little detour from the NFL and talk some college football with two buddies of mine. You remember Bozy here. He's been on the last few weeks. And I'm bringing back my buddy Jeff to represent Penn State here in the talk of Mount Rushmores of college football. This is a really, really cool debate. You know, we're going to take 20 schools, okay? We're going to pick the three big locals here, Pitt, Penn State, and West Virginia. And then we're going to go out. We're going to hit Notre Dame, of course. And then we're going to hit, obviously, the Big Ten and SEC, and then a few schools from the ACC. Some high-level discussions on this, like who are the Mount Rushmore, the top four players in each, program's history. Now, again, this is going to be highly debatable because, again, I know we're going to get people from schools that watch us and go, hey, you forgot this, or why are you putting this guy in and instead of this guy? And that's fine because, listen, Bozy knows University of Cincinnati, but they're not on the list tonight. He's also an Ohio State fan, so he's going to have a lot of Ohio State. Jeff's going to have a lot of insight on Penn State. I know some Penn State, but I'm going to defer to him because that's his team. I know a lot about Pitt and a little bit about Florida State. And then we're kind of going by name recognition and some other things. So we'll give you the criteria of what we're looking for when we talk about these players. But first, before we get into that, and we bring these guys on stage here, I want to remind everybody about our sponsor at Celebrations Bar, Banquet, and Grill at 8110 Steubenville Pike and Imperial. You see their phone number, 724-695-4333. If you are ever in the Pittsburgh area and in the Robinson area, take a quick trip down 2230. Visit Alex and Laura. It's my man cave away from my man cave. Jeff hangs out there a lot as well. It's a great bar, 45-cent wings on Wednesday nights. The deck is open outside. A great local bar where the bartenders will know you, the waitresses and waiters know you. You know, you go in, you feel like it is like an extension of your home because these guys and gals like to, jab at you, have a good time, but obviously some great service and some great food. So we're going to bring it up here one more time. It's the Celebrations Bar, Banquet, and Grill, 724-695-4333. Check them out. Tell them the Burgh Cave sent you. You ain't going to get a discount, but just tell them the Burgh Cave sent you because they're a great partner for us and a wonderful sponsor for the Burgh Cave. So we're going to bring on I'm going to bring on my man Jeff on. Bozy is working out some kinks here, but Jeff, welcome back in, brother. How you been?
Great, man. Thanks for having me. This is
absolutely
going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. We are looking for Bozy to work out his technical difficulties, which is odd because, again, just like you click the link, you pop right in. I think he's just having some camera difficulties, so I'm hoping that he comes in here. We're going to give him a few minutes. But and we'll remind him whenever he comes on here, Jeff, because I want to do is lay this out, what I look at as the kind of the ground rules for this, right? Okay. The first thing and most importantly thing, and if people are watching this, whether they're going to be joining us live tonight or they're going to watch us on the rerun, this is not a program is better than a program, okay? Everybody knows who the Blue Bloods are in college football. Your school's one of them, Jeff. Ohio State's another one. Obviously, I'm going to be talking a lot about Pitt here. Pitt is not at that level, but Pitt has some good Mount Rushmores. Alabama, yeah. Georgia. We're not here to say who's better than who, what conference better than who. It's just there's some eye-opening players that if you take a step back and look at a Mount Rushmore for certain teams, you go, you know what? That was pretty good.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if there's any trends by program. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like more defensive than offensive, more quarterbacks, more position players, more linemen. Be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing who you have for some of these programs I don't follow as closely.
Yep. And so what I did there was I just basically did a search for top 25 players in each school. Obviously, there's some of them that I knew that would be on there, and some of them I had to look. And by the way, I didn't take too many when I'm looking them up, there were like those old black and white pictures. I'm like, I don't even know who those guys are.
Yeah,
I'm going to trust who, if anybody comes in and is from that school, go, hey, that you got about this guy. This guy was a good one, so on and so forth. So there we go. Okay, so I see Bozy getting his hat on here. So we got here. Yinzer, y'all, welcome back, brother. Appreciate you tuning in. Can't wait for your feedback on this. So to the stage, my man Bozy. How you doing, sir?
Good. How we doing? Hey, Jeff. Nice to meet you, buddy.
You too, brother. How are you?
So
good.
Jeff,
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say. I know.
Good. I'm sorry.
Jeff, Bozy was a teammate of mine at Robert Morris, so
yeah,
he's got some local ties, and he does have a fandom of West Virginia as well, too, a little bit because of your daughter, right?
Giddy up, Mountaineers, baby. My daughter's graduated there last year. I'm a Buckeye fan, born and bred. My dad raises love Ohio State, hate Michigan. Penn State didn't count. You guys weren't in the Big Ten back then, so we're not going to go there. And I am wearing white for the whiteout, by the way, for you, Jeff. Sorry about that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, it's my daughter, of all things, went to West Virginia. So, funny kind of story real quick about the whole West Virginia thing and the Ohio State thing. So we go to move her in as a freshman during COVID, right? And everything's kind of delayed because COVID was happening up, right? Yeah. I have my son and my daughter with me. My daughter's 23, my son's 19 now. So back then, they were however age they were. And we're in the gift shop. I'm like, hey, you guys want this? I'm getting some dad gear, right? Because that's what you do, right?
Yep.
My son's like, I don't want that. I'm like, JJ, pick something out. He's like, no. It's too much like the girls from the school up north, Dad. No. I'm like, all right. You're wrong, dude.
Yeah.
It's too much like Michigan.
Hey, can I tell you, Buzz? Real quick, Jeff, forget it. I can't tell you, Buzz, that's why I don't buy a lot of Robert Morris gear because it look too much like the damn Patriots. I'm like, I can't do that. Can't do that, man. It's close. It's close. Good.
The one Robert Morris hoodie I got, it looks like a Patriots hoodie. I'm like, yeah. Eric, we need to get some more. We need some Robert Morris college gear.
There you go. I was going to say,
you would think.
Swag.
You would think we don't got much swag. We need money, I guess, to get swag. Maybe we got to go. Maybe we have to go play Oklahoma and Ohio State to get our ass kicked, get money.
You guys played on the first team ever that were. I don't know.
Hey, bud, you're cutting up a little bit, bud.
You're delayed on me. I don't know what happened.
Jeff, am I delayed on you?
In there.
No. You're good, Eric.
All right. Well, continue to work out the Kings. This is what happens when you do a live pod in here, and Bozy's got a good freeze frame going on this too. So, hey, while we're doing that, Jeff, let's hop into while Bozy fixes up his audio and things like that. Yeah. He may disappear and come back or something. The first school I want to bring up is we're going to do this because they're not associated with a conference, and that's Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When I'm asking you to throw out to and please, while we're going through this list, anybody that's watching on the chat, as soon as we mention a school, and if you, Yinzer, y'all, I love it. This stupid Ohio internet. Love it. As soon as we mention a school, if you guys in the chat think of any names to throw out there, just throw them out there and we'll put them in here. So the first one, again, is Notre Dame. And again, Bozy, if you can hear me now too, this is not necessarily of this school's better than this school. This is just pure on the Mount Rushmore. So the first one I thought of Notre Dame was Joe Montana. Okay. I'll give you the four and then see if you guys agree with these. So Joe Montana, Tim Brown, Jerome Bettis, and Alan Page.
Alan Page. Tim Brown was first to come to mind for me. So yeah.
Bozy, what do you think about those? Is anybody I missed?
Rocket Ishmael.
Rocket Ishmael he could be on there, but did he do anything that was like legendary at Notre Dame? Maybe I'm just missing it, right? Again, Alan Page was a defensive tackle for Notre Dame. He was part of the 1966 national championship, and he's a college football Hall of Famer. And again, that third leg, he's an NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that when it's before your time, right? So I have no idea, right? We were.
Yeah, no, that's why when I saw these pictures. I'm looking at this black and white. I'm like, I don't know these guys.
Yeah.
But Bozy,
you can't argue with it.
No, Bozy, is there anybody I missed off those 4 from Notre Dame? Because I got one more I want to throw at you guys. But Bozy, what do you think of Joe Montana, Tim Brown, Jerome Bettis, and Alan Page? Okay. Still having some internet issues there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too. So, all right. I'm going to text Bozy on here real quick.
Okay. I don't know about – what about Theismann?
So Theismann's on there. Let me ask you this. The other guy who's before our time, but I think a lot of football fans will notice as Bozy works out his kinks here, Paul Hornung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't argue with it. You got to look at the stats. It was a different game, but also if you're going with just legendary.
Right. So Yinzer, y'all brought one up, and there's another guy here too, but Tony Rice, Rocket, who you've mentioned, Aaron Taylor. Remember Aaron Taylor? And who was that big defensive tackle like Zorich? He was pretty good. And then obviously Theismann. But Tony Rice, I remember, is a very good quarterback. Because didn't he get the game? Didn't he get into the game into the starting lineup controversially, and then he just lit the college football world on fire?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know his story, but you could probably go with all of those guys. I mean, I think the 4 that you picked, it's hard to argue any of those that would be left out.
Bozy, are you good now, bud?
Yeah, I think I am. I'm sorry. I had to reboot my computer and everything. I think it just went through the kinks and everything. Are we good now? Yeah,
we can hear you loud and clear, brother.
All right, Yenzers, it's Ohio Internet. I'm sorry. I saw that, Yenzers. Thank you.
So, here's Bozy. I'll give you the final thought on Notre Dame. We're going to move through. So Notre Dame, I had Joe Montana, Tim Brown, Bettis, and Alan Page. Bettis is a little bit of a homer pick, but you could also throw Paul Hornung in there. Yinzer, y'all also brought up Rocket, Theismann, and Tony Rice.
Yeah, I would have thought those two.
So, do you have anybody I forget, or what are your thoughts on those guys before we move on to the next school?
That pretty much hit it though. There's defense tackle I was trying to think of was from Chicago, who's on the national talent team with Tony Rice's quarterback. Yeah, Chris Zordich. Yes, I was thinking college football wise. I know I don't want to throw the NFL out there with all that, but college football wise, he was a dude in college. I remember him. Yeah, he was great. Yeah,
he was. I mean, remember, some of these players, the NFL legacy is good, except it's not the most important here. I'm going to talk more about what they did for the college football and for their program, and the icing on the cake, maybe put them over the top, is what they did in their NFL careers. So, all right,
agreed.
Moving on to the next one, and this is a bit of a local one here. So, Bozy, you got with your West Virginia Mountaineers, and with Jeff. Now, I polled a friend of ours, and Jeff, I think you may know Chris Italia as well, as a big West Virginia guy here that lives in our neighborhood. So he gave me West Virginia's Mount Rushmore. I didn't do research on this because he gave me some names. So I'm going by him. So Chris Italia, this is on you, brother. Appreciate the feedback. He has Sam Huff, Pat White, Chuck Howley, and Major Harris.
Major Harris, huh?
Now, Major Harris is a big name, right? First team All-American College Football Hall of Famer when he was playing. I did not know Chuck Howley is a standout linebacker from 55 to 57. Again, this is before my time, but if you remember, he was the Super Bowl MVP with Dallas when I think he was on the losing team. I think, I remember from one of Larry's, Super Bowl trivias that we do. Sam Huff was a two-way lineman, college football and NFL Hall of Famer, and we know what Pat White did at 35-8 starter, and he did well. And I want to throw Tavon Austin out there too.
I was going to say Tavon Austin, yeah. What about Steve Slayton? Did you say that?
Slayton's someone that comes to mind.
Slayton was on his list, but I'm sitting there thinking, did he do more than any of those? Did he do more than Huff, White, Howley, and Major Harris?
As a running back at West Virginia, he did. Yeah, he was part of the Pat White games, wasn't he? Yeah, he was huge with Pat White.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Chris Henry. I mean, oh shoot, the DB that played for the Bengals all those years. Shoot.
Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. In college, they were good. But he was good in the NFL. But yeah.
Yeah. He was. Okay, so we'll move on. Again, if we've missed anybody from Notre Dame or West Virginia, please. And again, if you're not here watching us live, be sure to put your comments in down below and let us know anybody that we missed, or if you want to tell us that we're full of shit. One of the two. Doesn't matter. Okay. So now we're going to hit the ACC, and I got 4 teams from the ACC. And we're going to start with my first team here, which is Pitt. And this is one where there's going to be a lot of teams. I know Jeff showed me his list. They give me his 4, but there's obviously some great Penn State players. I don't know who Bozy has for Ohio State and all this stuff. There's going to be some great Mount Rushmores. But man, the 4 for Pitt, and I actually got already an answer here on the Twitters as well. It's going to be hard to beat. But obviously the first one is Dan Marino, Tony Dorsett. The third is Larry Fitzgerald.
Great.
Put the stupid beyond balloons. The fourth one is where I think there's a little bit of debate. Do we go Aaron Donald, Darrelle Revis, or Hugh Green? There's a lot. So I personally chose Aaron Donald because
Hugh Green was up for the Heisman.
Yeah, well, actually, Bill Fralick was the only lineman I think that was a Heisman finalist in NCAA history, and he was a Pitt guy. So I don't know.
Hugh Green was. I thought Hugh Green wasn't. I thought he was.
Well, I'm offensive lineman. Wasn't Hugh Green a defensive lineman or like a DN?
Right. Now Orlando. We'll get to Ohio State. Orlando Pace was top 4 for the Heisman too.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, Jeff. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if you're thinking about recent. I tried to have someone more recent where, it's hard to leave off, especially those Pitt teams from like the mid 70s to like 83, right? Like you could come up with Mount Rushmore easily from those teams. Yeah. But I'd go Aaron Donald just because his impact goes beyond, he's impacted that program years after he left. You know what I mean? So I'd probably go with him. Dan Marino, I'd have to look at his statistics because clearly he was great, right? He was a first-round pick. We know the Steelers passed on him because Bradshaw had 10 more years left. But what did he win in college?
Marino?
Yeah.
Yeah, won the one championship, I think, or he beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, or was it tie? I don't know when.
Did he win a title, or was that just a Sugar Bowl win?
He didn't win a title.
No, I think it was a Sugar Bowl win. Yeah.
And I don't know that their records. I'm not sure. So was he undefeated, or I don't think so. So that's my only question is one of those guys from those teams of the mid 70s. Maybe I might go with someone like that, but it's hard. But the wow factor is also hard to not include them too. Yeah. So just from a pure debate perspective.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, there is there is the argument of him being on there, but like when you think about Pitt football, I mean Marino and Dorsett are normally your first 2 names, and probably Larry Fitzgerald as well. You have to. Then you got Aaron Donald, Darrelle Revis, and then my buddy JJ Kitchen, who's a big Pitt guy. He was also saying Hugh Green as well. And I'm going to give you a few other names, and let's wrap up the Pitt discussion and move on.
I got a few names for that if you don't hit them.
Go ahead. Yeah, you know what, Buzzy? Give me your names, and I'll let you know which ones I have.
I didn't know Chris Dolman and Curtis Martin, but Chris Dolman. Yeah. Russ Grimm. Russ Grimm was a Hall of Fame. That dude was one of the best offensive linemen ever. Yeah. Yeah. Let's not forget about that guy. Yeah.
Chris Dolman was great. He was a lineman, wasn't he? He was a linebacker.
Yeah.
And had a great career at Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right, Bozy. You had you also Chris Dolman, Curtis Martin. If you remember, Ricky Jackson was a great linebacker for the Saints. He was a pretty good one at Pitt, and obviously Mike Ditka. So you got him too. So I mean, there's a lot of arguments, a lot of interchangeable pieces here that Pitt can put in that top 4. But I chose Marino, Dorsett, Fitzgerald, and Aaron Donald. But I mean, Darrell Revis was a shutdown corner. So, I mean, there's interchangeables. Again, a lot of these schools are going to have interchangeable parts. And we can come back to Pitt if anybody has any chats in here, but I want to move on to the next school, which will go to my other school here at Florida State. So Florida State, obviously the first guy you think of is Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I got Derek Brooks, Peter Warwick, and Warwick Dunn. Now, the question mark would be Fred Biletnikoff. He's got an award named after him for college football, so you could probably put him in over Warwick Dunn. Warwick Dunn did more, but obviously it's because of the time that he played. But, Jeff, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's hard to exclude Biletnikoff just for that very reason. Right? When you think about legendary, if that's part of the criteria.
Yeah.
But otherwise, maybe Biletnikoff instead of Warwick Dunn, but that's splitting hairs.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. As much as I love me some Warwick Dunn, man, Biletnikoff, just because he has the award named after him, because it's what he did for Florida State and what he did for college football. But Bozy, what are your thoughts?
Charlie Ward.
Yeah.
Derek Brooks.
Mm-hmm. Derek Brooks was in there, yeah. So
Derek Brooks, Charlie Ward, yeah. That Charlie Ward, during the early '90s, he was Mr. Florida State, man. That dude. Did they win a title with Charlie Ward at quarterback? I want to say they might have.
I can't remember if they did. I think they did. It was because it was him, and then obviously the other guy that won one was Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that later on, yeah, famous Jameis, yeah.
So there was three others. I want your guys' opinions on this too, and everybody else. Guys, Anquan Bolden was another one, and he's more of a fringe guy. Leroy Butler, obviously, he was more of a stellar NFL career with Green Bay than anything. Jalen Ramsey, now with the Steelers, and then Terrell Buckley. Those were the two defensive backs that were good. And Ron Simmons, who's most known for his WWE career with the APA.
That's right.
Ron Simmons was a hell of a linebacker back then too. But
how about Dalvin? Remember? How about Dalvin Cook, running back?
I think Dalvin Cook is in the Hall
top
of
four of all
good.
time, and yeah, he's good.
No, he's in the Hall of very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else that I missed on a Yunzi? You always talk about Charlie Ward as well too. Yep, absolutely. So going into my,
I love the lineman. Walter Jones. Walter Jones was really good too, by the way.
He was. But is he like a face of the program? I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
It was very good. I mean, there's a lot of names in here too. So Miami, obviously, there's some easy ones here for Miami, right? Ray Lewis and Ed Reed are the top two, in my opinion. Then I got Warren Sapp and Michael Irvin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Irvin.
Now, would you take Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Warren Sapp, and Michael Irvin? Would you take any of them out for Jim Kelly?
Jim Kelly.
I was thinking Vinny Testaverde too, actually.
And Bernie.
Didn't Vinny win a national title for them?
Bernie Kosar. Yeah,
Kosar. But Vinny might have had.
I was talking about Vinny Testaverde. I forgot about Kosar. Shit.
Right.
Yeah, Kosar.
Wow. Anybody else you thinking about, Jeff?
Kosar and Testaverde come to mind. It's hard to.
Sean Taylor. I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Sean Taylor. Did you know that Ted Hendricks played for Miami? Remember the old linebacker for the Raiders? You remember there was that picture?
Yeah.
One he has like that weird smiley face mask on. A lot of those Super Bowl highlights. Edgerrin James and Cortez Kennedy were another guys I thought about too.
So who are your top four for Miami again?
The Miami top four: Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Warren Sapp, and Michael Irvin. With a question of, do you put Jim Kelly in there, or any of those quarterbacks you guys mentioned? Like
it's hard to pull those guys out of face. If you're going to face the program, it's hard to pull those four guys out. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the defensive lineman that played for the Eagles that got killed? He was a dude. He was awesome. Not Jeffrey Simmons, but something like that.
Yeah. Who was that? Anybody in the chat help us out? Yeah, he was. Was his last? Was it Simmons?
I want to say it was Simmons, but the dude, Mike Golick raved about him. Mike Golick could play with the Eagles and raved about this guy, and everyone. He was one of the greatest defensive linemen in Philly. But yeah, look it up. Yeah, he was. It's hard to pull those top four guys out, and I hate Miami, by the way. Screw them. But they got some good lineage there from the '80s and on. Yeah.
I mean, again, if somebody is a Miami Hurricane fan and is watching this, let us know in the comments below if we got that right, or if you would put. It's hard to take those 4 guys out. You don't have to put a quarterback in there by default. It's just hard. It's hard to take that out. Yeah, Gino.
What about Ken Dorsey? Look at all the games they won with him at quarterback. Look at those teams he quarterbacked. They almost won 3 straight national titles. They only won 1 there. They were probably the best team the year before they won it, and they beat Florida. Then they beat Nebraska. Then my Buckeyes beat them. But that stretch of Miami football was fantastic for Miami football.
Ken Dorsey was
he was quarterback all 3 years. Yeah.
That's when who was their coach? There was an older guy that was there. He was their coach that won all those games too, from Miami. The hell was his name?
It was Butch Jones. Well, you had Johnson, the Butch Jones, and then Larry Coker. Larry Coker took over.
Larry Coker. Yeah, Larry Coker.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But he won the title. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He as Larry Coker.
By the way, that 0-2 national title game, I still love every bit about that game.
Was that the Maurice Clarett game?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, double overtime. Loved every bit of it. They bitch all the time. There was a defensive holding. No, it was a fair call. Shut up.
Yeah.
There were 17-point favorites of the game. They should have won the game. So shut up.
They should have. So
yeah, just saying.
I would say, all right, Clemson. This one was interesting because you got a couple good ones and a couple of them, like I had trouble filling this out for Clemson.
Okay.
The first obvious when I looked up their names, because I forgot some of these guys went there, was Brian Dawkins, the safety for the Eagles, right? I mean, that is like a no-brainer. That's one where that NFL career does hold as well, too, because he's probably one of the 4 best safeties to ever play the game.
Yeah, did he have a good college career? That's the thing. I don't remember him.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. I don't know. This went by the name. I picked him because of the name. So you're right. I don't know what he did in at Clemson. Same with this guy. I did not realize that the fridge went to Clemson.
No shit. I didn't know that.
William Refrigerator Perry went there.
Did he just pass away? Did I see that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, R.I.P. I saw some posts on there that he passed like 3 or 4 days ago. So, to the fridge. I mean, Father Time's undefeated, and sometimes he's cruel, but he, good. He was a fun player to watch, especially running the ball and things like that. So another guy, and I remember him being an absolute monster in college was DeAndre Hopkins. I remember him being an absolute monster at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know this guy went there. And Jeff, to your point, I don't know what he did in college, but Dwight Clark, the tight end from the 49ers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I did not know he was Clemson.
Yeah.
No. But they face of the program. So if we're going to say face of the programs, is Dwight Clark's face of the Niners, maybe. Clemson, I would never knew that.
Good point. It's a good point. Somebody that has it's a Clemson fan, let us know, because again, when I don't know players and I saw a list, I think I found a list of 50 from Clemson. I'm going back like does the name just pop off? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a non-Clemson fan, that's what I'm looking for. Jeff, good.
Well, I think, when you first asked this question, I immediately went to stats, right? And I've shifted more towards what you're talking about, which is face of the program, and associated more with the program, not necessarily someone that had all the stats. So, someone around the program. That could be one and the same too. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you have both, like you said, Marino with Pitt, he's still around the program. Dorsett, they're still around, like they're associated with them almost more so than the NFL.
Yeah.
Kind of like Franco was with Penn State, where it was like kind of both, but you knew him with both. So I don't know about Dwight Clark with Clemson, and I never knew that. So I don't know how he's just.
Yeah, I saw that list. I was like, no shit.
Yeah.
And this one's a homer pick, guys. This is the honorable mention. It is a homer pick, and I don't give a shit.
I know you're going with this. Is he a linebacker? Is he a linebacker?
Levon Kirkland.
Yeah.
He's back there coaching him right now.
I was thinking about that.
The only 300-pound plus middle linebacker in history that can cover tight ends.
Freak.
You want a homer pick? T. Higgins.
T. Higgins is there. Yeah, as soon as I saw, I knew Higgins and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, first off, I knew they
Lawrence.
were kind of wide receiver U before Ohio State and LSU were. Because always seem to have some good receivers down there.
Had a good run.
And here's some
Dexter
honorable
Lawrence
mentions.
too, but
Yeah, here's some honorable mentions, right? You got the two quarterbacks in Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson.
I would go with both of them. Even with Deshaun.
Didn't they both win a natty? I know Watson won one. Did Lawrence win a natty with them? Because I know they won two.
He did.
One each.
Yeah.
So it's hard to leave those guys off because of that. I mean, Jeff, you probably agree. If you look at the college lineage of these guys, those two, and I do not like Clemson either, by the way. I can't stand Dabo and all that stuff. But, however, those two led them to national titles. It's kind of hard to leave them off that list.
Especially quarterback.
Yeah, Watson's a creep. Yeah,
he's
doing great with Cleveland, though.
Doing
awesome with the Browns. I love him with the Browns. He's great with the Browns.
I agree with you, Yinzi. And he was actually the first guy I thought about. I'm sitting there thinking, again, this is strictly on the field, on the football field. But then, like, what Deshaun Watson has done now, it's like, you're going to put him on a Mount Rushmore. This is like one where I did bring in off the field crap, and I wanted to keep it on the field. But I just had a hard time putting Deshaun Watson on her because of what Yinzi was saying.
Yeah. If I was an alum, I wouldn't put him on. But as someone that's unbiased, I'd say he won a natty.
So a couple other Clemson ones before we go on.
If you look what he done on the field in college, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, Sammy Watkins, Travis Etienne, and Bozy. I'm surprised you didn't jump on this with your NFL bandwagon with the Bengals. I'm kidding. Dexter Lawrence went there.
I said Dexter Lawrence. I said that. My computer is slow. I said
Dexter
Lawrence.
It was choppy. I thought you said Trevor Lawrence. So, yeah, you were chopping up. I thought you were talking about the quarterback.
Dexter
Lawrence, yes.
Again, not knowing what he actually did for Clemson. But so my Clemson would be Brian Dawkins, William the Refrigerator Perry, DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm going to say Dwight Clark. I'm going to leave the Levon Kirkland because, again, admittedly, that was a homer pick.
Fridge's brother, Michael Perry, went there too, by the way. Just saying.
No shit.
He was good in the end.
No
yeah.
Michael Dean Perry.
Yes.
Ooh. He was better than the Fridge, quite honestly, in the NFL. I mean, he had a hell of a career with the Browns.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael Dean Perry was just a beast for the Browns. Yeah.
Ooh. All right, gentlemen. Let's hit the Big Ten. Home of you guys. So I'm going to do one team first, and then we're going to go Ohio State, Penn State, back and forth, and give you gentlemen the floor here. The one team that I had an absolute hard time picking when I looked up at all these damn players was USC.
Okay. Are they really a Big Ten team?
They are now.
I know.
I agree, but they are now. So my four, and then we can go back and I'll give you some honorable mentions, right? I picked Ronnie Lott, O.J. Simpson.
You okay, so you included O.J.
There you go. Thank you, Jeff.
He was innocent.
Hold on. O.J., but no Deshaun Watson. Okay,
O.J.'s innocent. O.J.'s innocent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I do know. So, first off,
just like earlier today was innocent, Eric. Never mind.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I thought I actually had Marcus Allen in there, but I put O.J. Simpson because of what I just said.
Yeah.
Junior Seau and Anthony Munoz. Anthony Munoz might be the best lineman ever. One of the best. And then honorable mention, and I did not put a homer pick in here, although I could be obviously easily swayed to put Troy Polamalu in there. Okay. So Ronnie Lott, Marcus Allen, Junior Seau, Anthony Munoz. I could easily slide Troy in over Junior Seau, but I remember Seau being an absolute monster. And I've been seeing the highlights. Again, we're splitting hairs, and I also didn't want to seem like a complete homer anytime there's a Steeler on there. I'm going to slide him in there. But those are my four. Or the fifth one. What do you guys think of those and anybody that I forgot?
Go ahead,
Reggie
Jeff.
Bush.
Reggie Bush, yep. Is he an all-time great? So look, here's my thing. You start looking at Reggie Bush or Marcus Allen. I'm not saying you have to put running back for running back, but like
I look at the wow factor. I mean, they both had it. So, and I'm not saying one or the other, but just making a case for Reggie. I mean,
Did Marcus win a Heisman?
I don't know. It's too far
I
back.
mean, Reggie won a Heisman. I don't care what they say. He won the Heisman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
I like Marcus Allen, though. I love Marcus Allen. He's one of my favorites of all time.
One of my favorite football plays ever was his run in the Super Bowl with the Raiders. We kind of went and turned around.
Amen.
You know, that was one of my favorite football plays ever. So a couple other USC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Swan.
How about Bruce Matthews?
Listen,
Bruce Matthews might be, outside of Munoz, he might be the best offensive lineman. Orlando Pace and Munoz. We'll get to Orlando Pace later. Bruce Matthews is maybe the third on that list, offensive lineman of all time, my opinion.
Tony Baselli. First pick ever. So again, that's kind of like
first overall pick, right?
First overall pick, and he was the first pick with the Jaguars organization. So you're right, Bozy. I mean, Munoz to me was always the guy that I thought was the absolute best. Again, you can make a case for Orlando Pace, 100%. You can make a case for Bruce Matthews, Tony Baselli, and then Willie McGinnis is kind of like is good. And he dominated in college as well. But
got there a crazy name out there. I just looked one up here, and I never knew this one. Frank Gifford went to Southern Cal. Now, Frank Gifford, we know from Monday Night Football, but still, really, Frank Gifford?
Exactly. You know, what did he do for them, right?
Right.
Jeff, anybody else you think about, or would you use Lott, Marcus Allen, Sayel, and Anthony Munoz, or who would you put in your top four?
Baselli you make a good case for him because number one overall.
Yeah.
At a left tackle, I mean, clearly was dominant.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best O linemen in college, right? So I might slide him in.
Fair enough.
I'll give you my top. Munoz. Yeah, I'm a Bengal homer, but Munoz to me is the greatest offensive lineman of all time.
I would agree. In the NFL, yeah.
I think we cannot leave Matt Leinart off of it. He led those teams also, like with Ken Dorsey, similar thing. He could have won back-to-back Heismans. He won one. So I throw Matt Leinart on, not Carson Palmer. I'm not going to throw my Bengal stuff out there with him. Ronnie Lott and Marcus Allen. I'm leaving OJ off it. If we're leaving Deshaun Watson, I'm leaving OJ off too.
Yeah, no, I left him off.
Yeah.
I
put Marcus on there
because if you look on the field, it's OJ or Marcus on the field.
Yeah,
but I just said that. Yeah.
Sorry, I have a delay in my computer here. I apologize, guys.
So, is there another school where QB doesn't come into the convo like USC?
Yeah, USC's QBU, right? I mean,
they're there.
Them and Notre Dame. Notre Dame and USC.
Yeah,
probably neck and neck with QBU.
Yep. Oklahoma had some quarterbacks.
They definitely did. So
had a good run.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good point.
So I'm going to shut up for a few minutes here, Jeff. I'm going to give you the floor for your Penn State. You when you texted me the list that you were thinking about. A lot of good football players, man. A lot of good football players at Penn State. And I do think you're talking about, if we went on the air, be curious to see what positional trends and things like that we're having. There's definitely a trend there at Penn State. So give us your top four and then some honorable mentions.
Okay. So you have to start with Jack Ham. And Penn State linebacker U pretty much started it. He was on 2 undefeated teams, 2-time All-American. He's been around the program, like to your point earlier, he's still the announcer. He's still color commentary. He's been around the program for, 60 years. He's actually retiring this year, but he's
from broadcasting.
From broadcasting.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went Jack Ham. It's really hard to leave Franco off, but he wasn't. I'll say honorable mention with him because he was a co-starter. So it's hard to, even though he's a first-round pick, and he was pretty much the face of Penn State.
Who was his backfield mate?
Now you're stretching me.
All right, don't worry about it. We'll come back. I thought maybe you knew.
Yeah, and also Capoletti, he's honorable mention. He won the Heisman, but to me, one good year, I couldn't go with anyone that just had one good year. So
fair enough.
Number 2, I'm going to go with Shane Conlon. So Shane Conlon, 2-time All-American, was second when he left in total tackles, linebacker, 2 interceptions in the national championship game. Number 31. You don't wear 31 at Penn State unless you're a stud. So he kind of started that with that number before my number 3, which would be LeVar. So going with LeVar was more of the wow factor and more about what he did for the program. Okay. Because they, in the late 90s, they were preseason number 1. They blew it. So he didn't win a national championship, but just the wow factor, okay. And what he did. Statistically, I went back and forth between him and Paul Posluszny, and Posluszny had, 300 tackles, college football Hall of Fame, played 10 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
But LeVar had the wow factor. And we mentioned this with Aaron Donald. So I wanted to go with someone more recent. So number 4 is Saquon, like 5,500 all-purpose yards. Just he has the wow factor, face of the program. So I wanted to go with guys that were kind of faces of the program, and then gave back after they left.
Yeah, but those 2 guys you mentioned, Arrington and Barkley, might be 2 of the best athletes at their position in football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to go up past Lawrence Taylor in anything, right? I'm not saying they are the best, but they are arguably the best athletes at those positions. I mean, Saquon is, the whole Madden cover thing. Now I kick it on his backwards jump and thing like that. He's just, and what he did, the things he did at Penn State were just unbelievable. And
freak highlights, man. Yeah. And it was tough for me to leave anyone off the 94 team like Kerry Collins and Kajana.
That's who I was going to ask about too.
Jeff Hardings. Jeff Hardings was a 2-time All-American, obviously played a long time in the NFL, won a Super Bowl with the Steelers. There's reasons, there's some bias. But that 94 team was just full of studs, and it's hard to – but there was only 1 year, so I had to take that into account.
That team was stacked.
So I was going to ask you about Kerry Collins, and the other guy I saw that I didn't see on your list, and again, I'm looking at his Penn State impact, was Courtney Brown.
Absolutely, number 1 overall. Now he was a bust in the NFL.
He was, but in college he was an absolute monster.
And he was on those teams in the 90s with LeVar and Brandon Short. I mean, their defense, the defense was completely stacked in the late 90s too. But
we're splitting a lot of hairs here, right? So, because again, when you sent that list, I was like, all right, you're picking, not me. There were some players on there, man.
It's like, who comes back? Who's part of the program still? Like LeVar's son plays there now. He's at a lot of games. He's supportive. That was probably part of my decision making, is like who gives back. Like Aaron Donald with Pitt, similar, right?
Yeah,
who's still around. Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, he does. So if I hear it correctly, then your Mount Rushmore is Jack Ham, Shane Conlon, LeVar Arrington, and Saquon Barkley.
You got it. Yeah.
And your honorable mention would be Franco.
Yeah, just because Franco has to be honored for everything.
He does.
I want to ask how you feel about Penn State coming this year, but before I do that, how's the guy that started linebacker you not on this? Come on, Eric, you know who that is. Bad Rad.
Bad Radakovic.
I know.
Yeah.
Close to our hearts. Close to my heart, man.
Yeah,
I love him.
Our hearts, man. Yeah. Okay. We had so many stories about Radakovic. We shared some, and a lot we haven't shared yet, but in our stuff. But
right.
Yeah, Radakovic was a hell of a football coach, man.
But he was a big part of Penn State, though. And the whole Now, that 94 team was stacked. That team beat Ohio State, 60-something to 6? That it was
63-14. If you
I figured you remember that score.
I was there. That was when I was in school. So
that's when you were at yeah.
We were freshmen at Bobby Moe then. I remember that. I was like, shit, that sucked. Yeah. That was not a bad Ohio State team. That's just how good Penn State was that year. They were.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I remember watching that team too, and I remember them dumb. And that's back when college football was like that. Oh, we think they're better. We think they're this. And I mean, if they had a playoff back there, Penn State probably would have won the Natty back then too.
Did they get a share? Did they not get a share of that? Because the way that it was bullshit back then. Yeah, no.
It was Nebraska.
Was that the year Nebraska had that bullshit catch? That
yes, correct.
Yeah, no. Okay, you want to give a split national title, you're fine. Penn State should have had a share in that because
Right.
I'm sorry, and I'm a Buckeye guy, but you don't beat an Ohio State team that was good that bad and not be a national title. And they went undefeated. They won the Rose Bowl against Oregon.
They 38-14 or 38-21, but it wasn't that close. Yeah,
dude, that team was stacked.
I remember watching them. Yeah, I remember. I'm like, man, they were fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, 4 out of their 5 offensive linemen played in the NFL.
And then we got Kajana as a Bengal, and he blew his knee out first time he touched the ball. He got Bengaled.
Well, listen, Kajana was just one of those ones that was just a bad luck when he got in the NFL. Yeah. On paper, and you look at him, he was an NFL running back. No doubt.
He was not a bust. I can't stand when guys say they're a bust when they get hurt like that. That's not a bust. You don't know what that would have been.
Yeah.
Right,
Let it play. It's unfortunate. Right. He had some NFL career, but it was nothing it could have been. I don't still feel bad for him, but I did. Kind of. Yeah. How do you not?
Well, honestly, as a human to a human, you feel bad because we know what it's like to play in college as well, too. Not at that level, but how much they put into it and how much and for them to kind of live, their dreams were taken away from them because of an injury and stuff like that. So, all right. So anybody who's watching or watching later, post in the comments here. Jeff, for the Penn State, we got Jack Ham, Shane Conlon, LeVar Arrington, and Saquon Barkley. Penn State fans, let us know what you think in the comments below. Bozy, the floor is yours for the Buckeyes.
I mean, you have to start with Eddie George. I'm sorry, Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman. That's it. Come on, put that aside there. Yeah, exactly. Second one, Utah. Give me 2. The second one might have been controversial, but whatever. He won it twice, and that's it. He's there no matter what. So I put Orlando Pace was a Final Four for the Heisman. That dude was a Hall of Fame NFL, let alone college NFL.
Hey, 11-7 Pirates. Woohoo!
Hey, we're beating Milwaukee right now in Milwaukee 3-2. Go Reds. I know. That's why I'm like, and Elliott Homer. I know. So Orlando Pace, I never saw a guy that big run down the field the way that guy did. He was a monster. He was so freaking good. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, Bozy, I just want to say, in what I said about LeVar Arrington and Saquon Barkley, I would say to Orlando Pace might have been the best athlete ever in offensive tackle. So I agree. As
much as I think Munoz is the best ever, Pace was probably the best athletic tackle I've ever seen in my life. At that size,
I agree.
God bless that guy. And he was great in the NFL too. It gets dicey after that because fortunately we had such a long, great NFL guys. You can throw Eddie George out there, who I probably will. Chris Spielman.
Mm-hmm.
Not hardly off the list.
Spielman's a good one.
Yeah. All the recent guys they've had there recently have been great. It's hard to leave a lot of these guys off of that list. I'm going to throw a curveball here. I'll put Woody Hayes on that. Ohio State is Woody Hayes. Woody Hayes is Ohio State. You look at Ohio State, that's Woody Hayes. That is Ohio State.
So we're talking. So we can put coaches on there.
You can put Paterno on there too if you want, but I'm going to say Woody because we probably shouldn't. But go ahead.
So let me throw this curveball at you, and I agree. I personally left coaches off.
Okay.
So look about players because again, you could for Florida State, you could throw Bobby Bowden on there,
right?
But I'm going to throw a splunker. I don't know what this is. I'm going to throw a splunker when we get to the SEC about the coaches. So, but I would say Woody Hayes. You can probably put as an honorable mention, and you make a great point about that. But what about players?
Yeah, I know. I thought about that. Just Woody just stands out like a sore thumb.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, Paul Warfield. He is an old school guy. My dad always talked about him. Fabulous.
Played for the Dolphins.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. The safety play for the Raiders is escaping my head right now. He was probably the hardest hitting safety outside of Ronnie Lott ever in the NFL. Played for the Raiders back in the 70s and 70s.
Lester Hayes?
No, not Lester Hayes. No. It'll come to me in a few minutes. But,
yeah. Lester Hayes was a beast.
Yeah. Troy Smith won a Heisman. The only quarterback at Ohio State ever won a Heisman was Troy Smith, by the way.
So are you putting Troy Smith on there?
Probably not. Okay. No. He had that great year, won a Heisman, yeah.
So we got Archie Griffin, Orlando Pace, and who are your other two, bud?
Chris Spielman and Eddie George. There's so many great receivers. Chris Carter.
I
mean,
you can do
Jim Lachey.
More of wide receivers.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't really go into the wide receiver because I don't even know where to go with that, to be honest with you. I don't want to sound like that. Listen, Jeff, I'm a huge Buckeye fan. We have so many asshole Ohio State fans that are annoying. I hate them more than anything else, dude. Okay, they're unrealistic. Maybe Penn State's got them. We have them at Ohio State.
Everyone has them, yeah.
Oh my god,
everybody
they drive me nuts. And I love Ohio State, and I root for Ohio State or any other college team. And if Ohio State wins a national title and the Bengals don't win a game, okay, I'm smiling. Okay, fine, let's go. That's how much I love Ohio State. But we have a lot of Nito fans. But I can't even begin to go where I start receiver there, because I started Chris Carter, Terry Glenn. I'm going like old back in the day before we come to recent times. Yeah. Right.
Good, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
You know, Terry Glenn's someone that I think about. Just it's hard to keep him off. What about the Bosa brothers, even from like a recency? I mean, they were dominant.
I want to lean towards my more like when I was a kid growing up until I was like through college age, because the racing guys were phenomenal. But I think that's just the adult me that leaves them off of that, but I shouldn't, because the Bosa brothers were fantastic.
Yeah.
Then you have
what about Katzenmoyer?
Oh, Andy Katzenmoyer was great in college.
Wasn't he one of the original neck rollers, right? You know,
I had that neck roll too. I love that thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The big cat, he could hit. Chris, I got a Chris Spielman jersey. That's the only Buckeye jersey I got. To me, I'll take Spielman over him. Spielman was an absolute beast in college, and in the pros too, actually.
Yeah.
Katzenmoyer didn't really make it in the pros. He had injuries and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going Archie, Orlando Pace, Spielman, and Eddie George.
And yeah, I think that's a great list. And I even put like Chris Carter as like an honorable mention for you. And obviously,
there's so many guys. I mean, hell, Jeremiah Smith might be on it before we're all done. I mean, it's just hard to,
No, and we could always revisit this going back. So I'm gonna go through these rest of the Big Ten here and somewhat of a speed round here, so we can get to the SEC as well. But I also want to pause if there's any questions or anything else that you guys want to talk about. So let's do it to a team you guys both hate, which is Michigan. With Michigan, obviously the first guy you think of is Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
So you put him on there. So this one here, I got a question. I put him on mine because I don't know of anybody else. Though there's somebody. Do you put Desmond Howard on there?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna. Yeah, that was the name.
Yeah, because I said I don't know. I can't recall. And if anybody in chat knows or what, I don't remember how much of an impact he had, or if it was a multiple year. I know he won the Heisman. Was it a couple years? Listen, you might say absolutely it was a 3-year thing. You're an idiot, and I just don't remember.
The Heisman pose. The Heisman pose is more.
Yeah, the Heisman pose exactly. I think he originated that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and for the lineman, you talk about one of the best, Steve Hutchison.
Yeah,
we went there. I'm on a delay there.
I heard that. Yeah.
I don't know. That's odd. Okay. Quarterback question. I put in Jim Harbaugh over Tom Brady. Not only because Jim Harbaugh played there and won, but then he won the national championship as a coach. This is where I said the curveball, the coaches come in, because I'm not putting him in as a coach. I'm putting him in as the player and such. But like Jeff has mentioned this a few times, the contributions giving back to the school. What better way to give back to the school? You go back and coach them to a national championship, finally slaying the Ohio State Dragon for Michigan for a little bit. I mean, what do you guys think of that one?
Go ahead, Jeff. I'll let you go before I comment on this.
Well, I mean, whether we can say he cheated or not, I don't know. If that's that
exactly.
counts.
Well, we can say that.
So, did he cheat in college too? I guess I would put Harbaugh on just because of that, because he was, Michigan man. I don't care for him at all, but Brady didn't start a lot of his career there, right? Like he was splitting reps.
Drew Henson.
He backed up Chad Henne, I think, wasn't it?
No, with Drew Henson.
Drew Henson, that's who it was. Yeah,
Chad Henne was after. Yeah,
that's who it was. Yeah. Yeah, and actually, Adam was just saying too. Yeah, Chad Henne was a good Michigan quarterback. Yeah, you're right, and he was actually in that list as a top 16 or 17 Michigan player.
0-4 versus Ohio State, though.
He was. Saying. That was one of the things he was. Absolutely. Yeah. So obviously, I think Hutchison is a slam dunk pick, but you also remember they had Jumbo Elliott. who I think he made the tackle eligible famous with the Jets.
Yeah.
We got a hometown kid in Ty Law that went there. Now, Quippa kid.
I like Ty Law.
Jake Long was
He's
another
solid.
offensive lineman, was a stud. And then you got some guys that are, I think they're fringe, but I wanted to bring them up, which is Tyrone Wheatley, and then obviously a homer pick in Lamar Woodley.
Jamie Morris. That's a running back in the day that was a stud in college.
I do remember.
Yeah.
So do you guys agree? Anybody else? I'm going, where'd it go? I'm going Charles Woodson, Desmond Howard, Jim Harbaugh, and Steve Hutchison. Yeah. Braylon Edwards is really good as well, too. 100%.
Yeah.
The thing is, I still think you put Howard in over him, but Edwards is a good pick.
I want to throw something funny out here, and you guys don't know this. The greatest things that ever happened to Michigan came from Ohio. Schembechler's from Ohio State. Harbaugh's from Ohio. Woodson, Desmond Howard, all from Cleveland. You're welcome, fuckers. You took our guys from Ohio. That's your greatest players ever.
Hey, and Ohio or Cleveland gave us Ben, so we're happy with that too. He's a brother.
That's Finley. Yeah, they don't count.
Okay, so this one we're going to breeze through because this was very underwhelming, which was Oregon.
Yeah.
So there are two that I think.
Well, they didn't get good, right? They didn't.
I don't even know who came from Oregon. I mean, Phil Knight? Could we just say Phil Knight and call it a day? Nike.
Next team. Haloti Ngata and Penei Sewell, who's still playing.
Dude,
I
like Penei Sewell.
Yeah, so do I. The fact that there's a current player on there. I mean, there's two of them actually. And then I put Marcus Mariota and LaMichael James.
Joey Harrington?
Yeah, Dennis Dixon. Yeah, Dennis Dixon.
Dennis Dixon stuff.
One guy that I do like, again, still playing, was DeForest Buckner. Y'all, absolutely, he is on there, and I did not realize I was going to bring this up too. Dan Fouts.
Oh, good call.
Very good call.
Yeah,
very good call.
I'm going to tell you this.
Was he good in college? I guess. Obviously,
I don't know. Yinzer, y'all, if you're at a computer, Yinzer, y'all, if you're at a computer, can you throw up his stats real quick? And we can always come back to it later. But what were Dan Fouts' stats, or anybody really? Dan Fouts' stats at Oregon. That's a great call.
Let me throw my opinion about Dan Fouts. I agree with that. He's part of the top 4 of Oregon. My dad couldn't stand him because when they had the strike in the NFL in the early 80s, he did not strike. He played. So as a union guy, my dad did not like that. And when the players all came back, the offensive line laid down, let him get sacked like 2 times around, just like, kick your ass. You're out, dude. Jonathan Stewart was good too.
100%. Good call, Adam.
And by the way, and I'll leave it at this. If Dan Fouts in the Hall of Fame, Kenny Anderson, the Bengals, should be in the Hall of Fame also. He beat him in the AFC title game, to the Super Bowl. So I'll leave that at that. But Dan Fouts in the top 4,
that's
Ice Bowl. Well, no, not the Ice Bowl. But what was the name of that game?
The Freezer Bowl.
Freezer Bowl, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of quarterbacks, here's one I did not know about Fouts. I don't know how I missed that. But you know who actually was, again, Jeff, to Jeff's point, I don't know what he did at school, but Norm Van Brocklin. If you're a football fan, you know that name. He was a guy that with the Redskins. I think he used to throw the backwards pass behind his back.
Yeah.
Norm Van Brocklin was also an Oregon Duck.
Was he really?
Okay.
Wow.
Shucky Ducky. So, and then I'm obviously got Justin Herbert too, but it's way too young. But would you see the trend, to Jeff's point earlier, the trend is Oregon's players are all recent, with the exception of Dan.
Yeah.
Because they weren't good for a long time, right?
Justin Herbert's not hard. That's hard to leave him off the list, though. I'll be honest with you.
I also Adam's call. I like Jonathan Stewart, but man, we'll go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
No, I like Herbert. I mean, he was 5th overall pick. I mean, he clearly had a great career there. So
he was really good. He was really good. Okay, Wisconsin. Again, it's a team that I enjoy watching. Is other than Pitt and Florida State, I like Big Ten football. Because I like the smash mouth. I like the weather. I like that. So I chose Wisconsin, and Iowa as my other one for they're on our Big Ten. And I just like watching those teams. Yeah, they're not perennial 10-2 type teams, but they're good. Wisconsin, obviously you got the Watt brothers. I'm putting JJ and TJ on there. Okay. TJ could be I can't remember what he did in college because he being the 30th overall pick, but I put, obviously, you talk about a lineman. Another great lineman there was Joe Thomas. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Joe Thomas, you can't really leave off, right? I mean,
no, he's got to be on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't leave him off. You also got Ron Dane,
You cannot leave him off.
He had an average NFL career, but he's Wisconsin's all-time leading rusher. And he is someone I think he had over like 6,400 yards in college.
He also won. He was part of the back-to-back, I think, Rose Bowl wins for them too. By the way,
I think you're
right. Which is huge. Are you going to throw one in there that you should obviously throw in there as a Burgh Cave guy? Mike Webster.
He's on my list. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering about that. Okay.
And by the way, for the people who are watching, Yinzer all did look up the stats. I'll bring those back up for Dan Fouts here. So, but yeah, and then there's a guy. And Mike Webster, I thought about again. I just don't know what he did in college, but obviously a Hall of Famer. Probably one of the maybe a top 5 center, maybe not of all time. I'm not sure.
Might be the best center ever. Yeah,
it could be arguably. I don't know enough about the position, so and again, I'm not going to just be a homer and say he is because I'm a Steeler fan. But
I'm not a Steeler fan, and I'm saying he might be. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, well then he's the best all time, says the Bengals fan.
I didn't say that.
Here is somebody who epitomizes, I think, somebody who should be on a Mount Rushmore for a school. Okay, and this is for Wisconsin. It's Jim Leonard. So Jim Leonard was a walk-on at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Turned into this is why I looked this up. Turned into a 3-time first-team All-American DB safety.
Yeah.
Then he also went back and he also coached I think he was their D coordinator for a while. You guys may
know. He was.
And I think he's on somewhere else coaching, but the fact that you are a walk-on and then a 3-time All-American, which means sophomore, junior, senior year, he was quick. He quickly went in. I mean, that to me is an epitomize of you put that stat, walk-on, 3-time All-American to any of these schools that we're talking about tonight. I think that criteria alone is Mount Rushmore worthy. What do you guys think? That's why I wanted to bring him up.
You sold me.
I wouldn't leave him off. You got us on that dude, Dak. I agree. He's hard to leave off that list.
Yeah, and a couple other, and I saw Monty Ball, Adam was saying, and a couple other ones.
Jonathan Taylor.
You mentioned,
Jonathan Taylor's the one I'm thinking of because
Jonathan Taylor, Melvin Gordon, and Troy Vincent.
Would you take Ron Dane over Jonathan Taylor, Jeff? I would take Ron Dane.
I would too.
He's the all-time leading rusher, right?
I think Taylor might be second.
But
yeah, I mean Taylor's a better running back. I would argue.
But Ron Dane was part of a big-time college football wins. They didn't win national titles, but they won Rose Bowls with him. They didn't win that with Jonathan Taylor.
No,
that's just
Ron Dane was the emergence of Wisconsin. I mean, before Wisconsin wasn't much of a program, right? It was Barry Alvarez started that whole Wisconsin's gonna 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We're gonna just run it 80 times a game, and Ron Dane just epitomized it. So
he was like a one-man wrecking crew. Okay.
Yeah.
So before we move on, so I want to go back to Yinzer did look up Dan Fouts' stats in college, and he pulled them up here. So keep in mind it's 70 to 72, but he had 5,995 yards and 37 touchdowns. Bradshaw had 5,200. No, was that Bradshaw in college, not at Louisiana Tech, Yinzer? But 59 and 37. You know what? That's going to put Dan Fouts, I believe, on Oregon probably over Marcus Mariota. Then, in my opinion.
Well, if you say Dan Fouts, you know that guy right away. And when he says Oregon, he's got to be the top 4. He's one of the names of football history that's there.
Yeah. That was Bradshaw's passing yards in college, correct? The same year as something like that. So
okay.
Thank you, Yinzer. Appreciate that look up there, brother. Appreciate you. And then quickly. And then we'll hit the SEC schools, and then we'll call it a wrap here. So Iowa, this is a little lackluster. They may be 20th here if you look at the overall, but I will look them up because what caught me on Iowa football is what they do with the hospital with the kids and everything like that. And obviously, again, the Big Ten, the gritty football. That's why I like watching Iowa. They're not obviously as successful as any other Big Ten teams, but Dallas Clark. Okay, so he's a tight end for the Colts. Again, don't know what he did. This is more of a name recognition. And
he was solid in college, yeah.
Tight end you there.
Yeah, Bob Sanders.
Good safety.
Tyler Lindenbaum, who might be arguably the best center right now between Creed, Frazier, and Lindenbaum. Honestly, Lindenbaum might even be a guard now. I'm not sure. And then one guy that's more of an NFL guy. Again, I'm way too old to know what the hell he did in college, but Paul Krause is the NFL's all-time leading interception guy with 81 who went to Iowa.
You have to have Chuck Long on there.
Okay. I don't, but okay.
I would. Chuck
Okay.
Long was their best quarterback they've ever had in Iowa's history.
Okay.
Yeah, what, 85 or something?
Yeah. They won. I think they won the Rose Bowl with him, but they were definitely
Yeah.
As a kid growing up, I remember him specifically, and he was maybe not in the NFL, but in college, the dude was really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another guy you could throw in there, and you want to sub any of those guys out. Okay, would you put Dallas Clark or would you put T.J. Hawkinson, who won the Mackey Award? Dallas Clark was a walk-on, and he turned to an All-American tight end. Actually, I just had to scroll up on my notes over here. T.J. Hawkinson, you got George Kittle, you got other guys on there at tight end. So you can.
It's hard to say. I don't remember them as being impactful. You know, like Hawkinson obviously was, but playing against them, I don't.
Yeah, you guys.
It's Iowa. Who was impactful there? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to. Yeah, but I mean, I know there was one year they beat Ohio State like 80-2, whatever the random thing. But I mean, I would put George Kittle. I would take him over Dallas Clark and Hawkinson. I would. Bob Sanders was.
Yeah, Sanders is Erie. Yeah. Erie.
Oh, it's Mary? I didn't know that. Yeah.
I didn't know that either. So, Bob Sanders was definitely a beast.
Robert Gallagher is a hell of an offensive lineman there too, by the way.
He was, and actually, you know what? Another one here, offensive line was Tristan Wirfs. He's good too. All right, so that wraps on the Big Ten. We're gonna go ahead a couple of SEC schools and then wrap up with a few, maybe just a couple other comments about them before we get out of here. But SEC, we'll start with the Georgia Bulldogs. I got to ask you guys before I say anything. When you say Georgia Bulldogs, who's the first name that pops in your guys' head?
Herschel Walker. Yeah.
Herschel Walker. Probably one of the greatest college football players ever. Right?
Yeah.
And I got a note. I was looking at this. He was a 3-time All-American and finished in the top 3 in the Heisman voting all 3 seasons. And obviously, he carried Georgia to a national title in 1980. Yep.
You know what's funny about Georgia? After that, they were nothing. They were dog shit until
they were for a while. Yep.
Yeah, 10 years maybe. Yeah.
I mean, they were always that team that they were good, but they were never gonna win it. They were 9-3, 10-2.
Yeah. Florida beat them in their game every year against Florida, the cocktail game. They beat them every year.
Yep.
Now it doesn't happen now, but yeah.
Yeah. So Herschel Walker is a no-brainer. And I saw Adam already said on the chat here, Matthew Stafford. I think he might be one of the best QBs to ever come out of Georgia.
Yeah.
More of I remember watching him in college. He was pretty damn good in college, but he definitely more about the NFL success than anything, right? Because I think he was a number 1 overall pick, wasn't he? I know he was top 5 or top 3. I can't remember. I thought he was number 1.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
So Herschel
Detroit
Walker
was terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Herschel Walker, Matt Stafford, Champ Bailey.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that.
And then there's 2 names, and I'll tell you why. And you all had one here too. One is AJ Green, and the other is David Pollock. Right. So David Pollock. Here's why I selected Pollock over AJ Green. So mine is Herschel Walker, Champ Bailey, Matt Stafford, and David Pollock. And I know Hines Ward and all this stuff, who's my favorite Steeler of all time, but David Pollock, one of only 2 Georgia players to be named a 3-time first-team All-American. In 2004, he won the Bednarik, Hendricks, and Lombardi Awards and holds the school record for 36 sacks.
Okay, I didn't know.
That's a Mount Rushmore.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that is a Mount Rushmore. And I agree. I mean, you got Terrell Davis. What's that?
3-time All-American.
I did not know that. I mean, I knew Pollock was good. I didn't think he was that good. So
he got hurt. He got hurt in the
NFL from that guy's team.
Yeah, cut it. Yeah, that's what cut it short.
That guy's team.
What are you pointing at me for?
It's that Ohio turf.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, he was good. He's one other one like Kajana. I mean, you don't think it's just unfortunate that he got hurt, and probably would have had a lot better NFL career if he didn't get hurt.
I got some names that keep going. I got some names I just found.
All right,
like,
so I
shit.
want to cover two names real quick, Bozy. Then I want to bring them up as well. But Adam brought up, and I thought about Terrell Davis. But Jeff, to your point about Franco, can't remember, was Terrell Davis ever the feature back? Now the answer might be yes. I just don't remember if he's ever the feature back. Because I remember watching a documentary. I thought he had to fight his ass off for playing time in Georgia. That's why he was like a 6th round pick or 7th round pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say right because he was a 6th rounder. So
yeah, I can't remember.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, I thought he was a by committee one. And the last one, let me address my favorite player of all time, which is Hines Ward. I thought about this too, and as much of a fan as I am of Hines Ward. Just as a football fan, take the black and gold goggles off for anybody in the chat that has them. Is Hines Ward going to be there over Herschel Walker?
Not over Herschel. No.
Is he going to be there over Champ Bailey?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, before maybe you may put him in over David Pollock before I read off what he did at college. I don't know. And then obviously you're going to put him over Matthew Stafford. Maybe.
Nah,
I say no, but maybe. I think you could probably make a case him over AJ Green is an honorable mention. But Bozy, what other names you got? And then I'll let Jeff close out the Georgia talk.
I found out. I just looked up 2 guys and it blew me away: Fran Tarkenton and Richard Seymour.
Richard Seymour, yeah.
Hold on, yeah. Fran Tarkenton. You want to dig some deep NFL stuff? Look, 4 Super Bowls with Minnesota, right? Was he the quarterback of those Minnesota teams?
He was.
Didn't win one.
Yeah.
But if Jim Kelly's going to be talked about, Fran Tarkenton's got to be talked about.
Way ahead of his time.
I agree.
Way ahead of his time.
Now, back to what we talked about earlier. When you think Georgia football, do you think Fran Tarkenton? I don't. I really don't think Richard Seymour either.
Because I was 3 days ago years old when I found out Fran Tarkenton went to Georgia.
Right. But we can't just. I feel like, and I'm a victim of this. I'm looking at the recent history of these programs. We have to look back and, shame on me for not doing this better. Fran Tarkenton, if I knew that was a Georgia guy the whole time, he's hardly of the top 4. He really is. I don't know. Herschel's clear number 1. Richard Seymour, maybe. I don't know. NFL player, yes. You can tell me Champ Bailey, I give that Stafford, yes. Hines Ward, maybe, but I remember Hines Ward in college. I remember him, but I remember more as a Steeler because maybe I didn't like him as a Bengal fan. Maybe that's why. But hell of a player though. So I don't know. Those 2 names popped out at me. I was like, wow, those are pretty big names right there.
Jeff, anybody that I missed from Georgia you could think of?
It's hard just from a recency perspective and just a freak. He's a tight end, but Brock Bowers was a freak.
Yeah.
And he was pretty impactful in the playoffs.
Adam, don't do that.
Forgot about Jarvis Jones, 1st round pick.
In college, he was good. Oh, I totally forgot about him. Steelers, Kendrell Bell.
Kendrell Bell, I love Kendrell.
I totally forgot he went to Georgia. Good call, Adam. Wow. I know he was a good in college because Steelers used a 1st round pick. Was it a 2nd round pick? I think it was a 2nd round pick.
He's a 1st, I believe.
Was he a 1st round pick?
Pretty sure.
You might be right. I don't remember enough.
Kendrell Bell was?
Kendrell Bell, yeah. Was he a 1st round pick? Adam, was Kendrell Bell 1st round? I can't remember. Okay, anyways.
How about Garrison Hurst? Running back right there.
You got Garrison Hurst. Yeah. What else did I put down? Roquan Smith. And by the way, you know what position they kept coming up for Georgia? Were kickers. And one they had was Kevin Butler. You remember the old guy from Chicago?
No shit. Yeah. Kevin Butler?
Kevin Butler went there with a kicker from Georgia. Yeah. All right. This one is, I think, Adam said he thinks is a 2nd, but we'll look at it. So, Alabama. This one surprised me. Didn't really have a lot of names I thought were, and Todd Gurley as well from Georgia, 100%.
Good call.
Todd
Yeah.
Gurley's hard.
Alabama. Now, the first guy you guys don't know if you've never heard of in a sense, but John Hanna. Bozy, I don't know if you know, being with in the trench guy.
No, I know.
He's often considered one of the best offensive lines in history for college and NFL. So I select him. I have no idea who the hell it is, but I selected him based off of that.
He played in New England. England. It was dude. He was yeah.
Joe Namath.
Yeah, you can't leave him off, right?
When I looked on this, when I looked up some names here, because oddly enough, I had a little bit of trouble with Alabama.
I can see why. Yeah.
Joe Namath, Bear Bryant said he was the greatest athlete he ever coached. Now, again, that was 100 years ago, but I'm sitting there going, and Joe Namath obviously he's just a name too, right? He's just it's Namath, Broadway Joe.
Was Pittsburgh biased a little bit? Right?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit. But again, there might be some names I'll read off to you guys and maybe switch them out a little bit. I had to put Derrick Henry on there because I think he's their all-time leading rusher. But Derrick Henry is obviously as well. Y'all got one here too. Is Ozzie Newsome? He's a hometown kid, and he was obviously considered. Well, not obviously, he was highly considered, as I meant to say, the best tight end in Alabama history. So I'll throw him on there.
Yeah.
And the one guy that I think is a slam dunk, and I left it for last, is probably take him maybe over Namath, would be Derek Thomas. The old Kansas City linebacker. Still holds the record for NCAA single season sacks with 27. Yeah.
You gotta go with him for that.
I might have a trump card on this one. Bart Starr.
That's that whole quarterback argument, right? Here's a couple other names.
I mean, you take how about Dwight Stevenson?
Good. I'm going to read you guys a couple names, and I want you guys to comment on some Alabama stuff here because you hit the home run on that one, Bart Starr there, Bozy. Because you have Bart Starr and Ken Stabler.
The Snake.
Yeah.
Then you had Julio Jones and Sean Alexander. Some guys in the chat mentioned that. Adam and Yenzer y'all. D'Amico Ryans, Devontae Smith, the recent Heisman.
Cornelius Bennett.
There's some dudes. A lot of more recent guys
Cornelius.
from the Saban area, right? There's some dudes on there, but to me, the John Hanna and Derek Thomas are the two slam dunks. Other than that,
because are they associated with Bama? Like, do you think of them?
Yeah.
When you think about Bama,
I do those two specifically. I agree. I do.
Yeah.
I knew Derek Thomas went there. I had no idea who the hell John Hanna was, but when I read that, I did some other research. I'm like, yep, that's him. So I'm like, you know what? That's Mount Rushmore material.
Sean Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, John Hanna and Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas. Shame he left this world too soon. That might have been one of the best defensive ends I've ever seen rush the passer, outside linebacker, whatever he was. Yes.
Is he still holds isn't the single game sack record still his with
like
7?
5 or 6 or
No,
7.
it's 7. He against Seattle.
7.
I think he sacked Dave Craig 7 times.
I mean, Trey Henderson almost got it a couple years ago against Steelers, but
that was 4. Relax.
He sucks. I'm so glad he's in Baltimore now. Fuck him.
All right, yeah, relax.
I am actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So Alabama, there's some guys. So Alabama to me would be, you know what? I'm probably going to go Bart Starr probably over Namath. I'll go Jack Hanna, Derek Thomas. Man, you could probably throw Derrick Henry in there, but you can make a case for a bunch of others.
Where'd Bradshaw go?
He went to
Louisiana Tech.
Oh, why was I thinking it was Alabama? I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought that. Okay.
Close geographically, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Oklahoma, which is actually now odd. It's Big 12, but it's more SEC. First one, there's 2 running backs that obviously Deshae Townsend, absolutely. Billy Sims. So he is a running back. 78 Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
And what I read about him, Billy Sims is a 1978 Heisman Trophy winner, but they're saying that he was the godfather of the wishbone offense as a running back. I don't know what that meant. I do not know what the context of that is, but I'm guessing he was maybe one of the best running backs to ever run in that. The second running back is an obvious choice, which is Adrian Peterson. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Can't
those
leave 'em
two
off.
are slam dunks. What any arguments there?
Hold on.
Nope. All right. So the other
Running back,
one,
I guess.
there's a lot of quarterbacks because then you have one of two quarterbacks. I don't know if I'm putting any of these guys on. But go ahead, Bozy.
You can't leave Brian Bosworth off.
Nope.
The Bos has to be there no matter what.
Bosworth is on there, 100%.
He easily is. Yeah. And I'll throw another running back
Bosworth.
on there. Johnny Rogers from the 70s. My dad raved
Okay.
about that guy. He was a
Okay.
Heisman guy. He was part of that huge wishbone. Johnny Rogers. Yes.
Yep. Absolutely. The Bos, we got a lot of Bosworth here too. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, he impacted everyone's hairstyle in like 1980s.
Exactly.
Well, so
His
Jeff,
hairstyle might be in Mount Rushmore.
so my last name is my last name is Bozy. So when I played linebackers, they would call me Bozzy. So yeah, so I liked him. How did you not like him as a kid?
Did you wear 55?
No, I did not. I didn't color my hair either. No.
Oh, okay. Right.
I wore
I was gonna
56.
ask if you did.
I wore 56 Lawrence Taylor actually, because I love Lawrence Taylor.
Absolutely.
That was my yeah. But Boz is on there. That's
By the
he's
way,
on there,
Lawrence
put him aside.
Taylor might be the Mount Rushmore of football, NFL. I mean, he's that damn good.
Yeah. That's North Carolina. Yeah, and that might be the only one we needed from North Carolina is him. So yeah.
So you got would you put any of these quarterbacks in there? Would be Sam Bradford, somebody mentioned, is Baker Mayfield.
No, he transferred.
Mm-hmm.
He won the Heisman in
that's-
Oklahoma, though, right?
He did.
That-
They both.
If you transferred, you're out. You're not. You wouldn't be on my school's Mount.
All right,
If
Jeff.
you-
I don't disagree with you, dude.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's
Yeah.
a great point.
Actually,
So-
yeah. Thank you. I take that. Okay, cool.
And I think those again. I think they fall in the Hall of Very Good, right? Maybe not Mount Rushmore. So there's two other names, and I think it's debatable. Is Leroy Selman? He's a defensive tackle now. Another guy widely considered. This was off that list I looked up. Widely considered the greatest Sooner of all time. Put him on. If you're telling me that, he's got to be on there. And then there is a Keith Jackson, and no, not the sophomore from Tallahassee.
The tight end.
The tight end Keith Jackson, regarded as one of the best tight ends ever in college football, and a two-time All-American, and he was part of the 1985 National Championship with Oklahoma. So Billy Sims, Adrian Peterson, Leroy Selman, Bosworth, and Keith Jackson. You got to keep 4 of those out of the 5. That's a hell of a list.
That's tough. That's tough.
Again, and you got
CeeDee
CeeDee Lamb went there. So you got CeeDee Lamb and a quarterback's Hall of Very Good, but that 5 right there, I think, are cemented. I don't know if I'm glad I'm not making that list. We have Leroy Selman and Keith Jackson, man.
That's a tough one.
That's
They
tough.
have another transfer, Troy Aikman. You don't count him, but that's another one transferred out of there.
Yeah, and it's weird because Aikman's known as more of a
UCLA,
UCLA guy. Yeah.
He was Oklahoma first, though. Yeah,
he was.
Wow,
He was.
that's a good trivia.
Yeah, we got a 47 straight.
I mean, that
Trent
was
Williams.
transferring before
Yep.
transfer portal.
Trent Williams was Oklahoma, huh?
Yeah, Trent Williams, Oklahoma. Good call. Yeah, he was an absolute monster. I think he's still playing for the Niners, isn't he?
Dude, that dude, he's still probably the best in the league. Yeah,
he is a
He's
house.
Great. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 46 said the Salmon brothers have a statue in Norman. Well,
Actually,
I mean, that puts them on the Mount Rushmore right then and there. Thanks, 47 straight. Appreciate that. All right. We'll move on to their rival, Texas. And I'm going to ask you, gentlemen, the same thing I asked for Georgia. If I say Texas football, who's the first name that pops in your head? And it goes for anybody in the chat, too. We're going to go back a little bit. But who's the first?
Probably Earl Campbell. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
It's got to be Earl Campbell.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a couple Earls in there. Yeah. But mainly the reason I'm saying is widely considered the greatest player in the state of Texas history.
He might have had, outside of Barry Sanders, he might have been my favorite running back to ever watch. The old school films you see, the runs he had. I mean, come on. Yeah.
We got Adam saying Ricky Williams. That's another one. Ricky Williams could be on that list, and Ricky Williams is going to be that honorable mention debate here I got for you guys. So the other one, I mean, you got to put Vince Young on there just because of the 13-0 perfect season, the national championship. Again, that holds so much weight. He won the 05 BCS championship. Two that have some historical. These next three, I think, are two of these three are interchangeable for Vince Young. Absolutely, against y'all. Casey Hampton, big snack. By the way, I looked at a picture. He wore number 64 in college.
Is that right?
Yeah, I saw
That's
a picture
weird.
of him wore number 64. Maybe unless that was just like he ripped his jersey, he only had number 64. I'm not sure, but another Texas guy was Bobby Lane. That's just
Night Train Lane.
That is it. No, he's a quarterback from 44 to 47.
Oh, okay. I was thinking somebody else. I'm sorry.
The true pioneer of the sport who became a Pro Football Hall of Famer, Lane dominated both sides of the ball at Texas. So I don't, based off of just that alone, to me, again,
It's hard to argue.
That's hard to argue with. Yeah, we got Earl Thomas, great player. Casey Hampton, great player. Another guy that, again, I'm going to go back to, we don't know what he did in college, but I like the name. And he was in, I think, the top 15 in Texas when I looked at their list. I think top 15 was Steve McMichael. You remember he was the defensive tackle for the Bears, became a wrestler.
Yeah.
All right. So you have then Ricky Williams, and you also have Derek Johnson. You remember the linebacker had a long career at the Chiefs.
You know who was it's hard to put him on Texas, but Texas in general football. Tom Landry played football in Texas.
For Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Defense back and a punter. Yeah.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, somebody who is a Texas fan that lives and breathes Texas may come and say someone like that deserves to be on the
right.
We don't know, but
I wouldn't put him on there because I remember he's a Cowboy coach. That's what I know him as.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. Absolutely. So we got 47 here. First time listening, just appreciate that 47. Love having new subs here, man.
Thanks,
It's about good football talk, college, NFL, everything, man. Appreciate you.
Hey buddy, critique us all the time. Critique us. If we're doing something wrong, critique us. I want to hear it,
absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
How about Priest Holmes? Do we say that?
Don't get religious on me.
No. Come on.
Yeah, but what was his career in college? Because I don't remember.
He was good.
He was, but you know what? Was he another share of the backfield guy though?
Who would he share it with? You might be right. I just don't remember.
Yeah. I'm saying again.
That's why I'm asking.
I don't know. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's a good call though. Good call on Priest.
Yeah.
Also, here's a one that's not a big name, but if you look at Texas football, people forget how, and I didn't put him in there, but people forget how good Colt McCoy was at Texas.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. He doesn't get hurt in that title game against Alabama. They're probably beating Alabama in that game.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's hard to say. It was early in the game, but that was a good team.
Jamal Charles. Did Jamal Charles and Priest Holmes play at the same time, or is that a little bit?
I just see who chimed in on that. Let us know, because that's a good call.
Adam, very good call. Yeah, Adam, you brought up Jamal Charles. That's a great call.
Dude, he was yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Priest Holmes things, Bozy, is I think he split time, but again, it's one of those ones like look at Penn State. It had Allen and Singleton, two great backs, but they split time. You know, you had Auburn. They had both of their pick, Cadillac Williams and Ronnie Brown. But they split time. But doesn't mean they're not great football players. But would you put anybody who split time on a Mount Rushmore? I don't know. You know what I mean? Mount Rushmore is like creme de la creme. I mean, that's not the Mount Rushmore very good.
Yeah, it's hard. That's hard to say because I mean, even with Penn State, Katron Allen is now he's the all-time leading rusher, and he split time with Singleton.
He is really.
Mm-hmm.
Is.
Wow.
But I wouldn't put him on Mount Rushmore.
He got drafted by Seattle in the first round this year, right? Was that? No. In their names, guy. Never mind. Where's Allen out? Where's Katron Allen out now?
Washington.
In Washington, okay. I knew Washington picked up one of the two backs, but okay.
Yeah. Well, if you ask Texas fans, Arch Manning's got to be in the top 4 now, right? Is he already nominated there?
Number one.
Yeah, not yet, man. Not yet.
0-2 versus Ohio State. Hi, Arch. How you doing, buddy?
Listen, if that's called that kid had way too much hype for him not even playing. Like,
I actually like Arch Manning. Yeah. There's just so much hype around him because who he is and all that. Fine, he's a kid. Whatever. I have no issue with him.
All right, we got 3 more, and then we're going to wrap this up. Florida. Who is it?
Well, Tebow. You get that out of the way. Yeah.
So Tim Tebow, 100%. I mean, again, that's Florida football.
Yeah.
Not a very good NFL career, but that's
he beat the Steelers in the playoff game. I remember it.
I'm about to take you off this damn screen, Bobo.
I like that there's no Steeler flag underneath me today, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
that's why I wore white.
By the way, you like the new background, like the new digs? It's pretty sweet, right?
You can put some Ohio State stuff up there from college stuff, but get rid of the fucking Michigan helmet, dude. We talked about that. It's right behind your head, right up Florida State. Get rid of that.
Well, you know what? Maybe next time, because I do go to Ohio State up there, maybe I'll bring it down here for you. Just to
bring it down.
Bring it down.
Jeff doesn't like Michigan, neither do I. Come on,
hey,
2 against
look,
8.
But hey, Jeff's happy. Look, I got Penn State right there. I got right here, right by Penn State.
Have any Mountaineer helmets up there?
There is one up top. Absolutely, I do have it.
Okay.
Okay, so Florida got Tim Tebow. I put Emmitt Smith up there, and we actually just got up here. Yep, absolutely. Peninsula Emmitt Smith, 100%. I think he is somebody that I think also had a really great college career, so I want to put him up there. And one guy that I did not know, I was 3 days ago old, that I realized that he went there, was Jack Youngblood.
Really?
Remember the guy from the Rams? He was obviously, again, that might be more of a name. And again, not knowing what he did in college. So if there's any Gator fans watching, leave your comments below. But Jack Youngblood was, I mean, that to me, it's a name. So whenever whenever you guys brought up the coaches, Bose, or Jeff was bringing up coaches, or one of you guys, I can't remember. But
that was, yeah.
Here's the spin. Because you could put Steve Spurrier in the Florida Gators. But people, he
played.
Remember, he was a quarterback from 64 to 66.
Yeah.
And he won the Heisman Trophy in 1966. Yep, there you go. Yinzer all just said it. He won the Heisman Trophy. So he put the Florida program on the map as a player.
Yeah.
Then, to Jeff's point about giving back to the program, then he came back, and we all know what Spurrier did as a coach. So I think that's where I put the coach in as a player. The coach part of it is the added cream, if you will.
Well, yeah, I mean the winning the Heisman, that's gets him in, but what he did as a coach cements him.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yes.
Danny Warford won the Heisman and a title there.
That is, Danny Warfel is an argument on this one. So
yeah, for college, not NFL, college.
Correct. I mean, that's one that can you pluck a Jack Youngblood off and put in a Danny Warfel, and you have two quarterbacks because that's what it was, as well as another great player. I remember him being an absolute beast in here. What Adam brought up was Javon Curse.
Yeah.
Right? I think his nickname was the Freak, if I'm not mistaken.
He was. That dude was awesome.
You also have Percy Harvin. You remember him at Florida was an absolute monster.
Urban loved him.
So here again, the more I think about it, because I had Jack Youngblood on mine, the more names I keep putting, the Jack Youngblood keeps going down and down and down and down. But again, I don't know what he did, right? And there's a couple other ones.
Yeah.
You had Wilbur Marshall. He's a stud linebacker from Chicago. You mentioned Daniel Warfel, and then was Lomas Brown? Wasn't he like a longtime tackle for the Lions?
I think he was, yeah.
He's
a Gator?
He's a Gator. Oh, shit. Huey Richardson. I forgot about him, Yinzer, y'all.
What about Kevin Carter?
Holy shit. I forgot about Huey Richardson. Wasn't he?
Huey Richardson.
Steeler back in the 80s, those ones I forget. Who would you talk about, Buzzy?
Kevin Carter. You Steeler fans, man. You guys get your guys up.
I'm going to mute you, buddy. No, you're right. Hey, listen.
Something, man.
Yeah, and then actually, last one for this, Bozy, just one more Steeler wrench in your back. It was the Pouncey twins.
Yeah, they were really good.
I guess you can't put one in without the other, right?
No. But are they the Mount Rushmore, though? I put Tebow, Spurrier for sure, Spurrier. You have to. You
100%.
made a great case, and I agree with that. And I put Emmett and Danny Warford. Those are my four.
I can't.
You won a Heisman and a national title for Warford. How do you leave him off?
Jeff,
and Spurrier coached him too, by the way, during that.
He did. I like it.
I thought you were going to include Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, well, that's too soon. Is that too soon? My bad. Ooh, my bad.
How about Max Starks, though?
Adam's a late Jordan. Adam Bozy is he likes Cincy, but he's an Ohio State guy, born and bred Ohio State Buckeye.
Adam, you talking about UC, Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, because they suck.
Hey, My daughter goes to UC. Actually.
Oh, really? Okay, they're great. Jeff, they're great. You know what, though? You got the Kelsey brothers.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Kelsey brothers. So, okay. So Cincinnati, Mount Rushmore for college football.
You gonna put Sorsby on? I bet you won't put Sorsby.
No, when I put Sorsby. Really? We're gonna bet on that?
Gonna bet on that.
Well, Pete Rose is in my top Reds of all time. I'll bet on that, so I'll leave that there.
Okay.
Yeah, Kelsey brothers for sure on the UC Absolutely. List. The other two guys, somebody chime in, whatever.
Right, yeah. So last two, we got Tennessee. We know about Peyton, 100%. They might have the best two, Peyton Manning and Reggie White.
Oh, Reggie White.
Stupid.
Look at that.
Wait, Reggie White was.
No. Anyway,
Reggie White was Eric when I was playing D-line at Robert Morris. When I learned my club move, I was watching Reggie White clubbing guys. I loved it. You get a big offensive lineman off balance, you club him like that, and you're a 225-pound defensive end, you knock him on his ass. I don't even care if I signed quarterback. I'm looking at him laughing my ass off because that was the best. Got that from Reggie White. Loved him. One of my favorites of all time. Yeah.
So I don't think there's really any argument with those two for Tennessee. And if you're going to argue, then you're just a hater with those two. Those are just legends of all levels of football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second coach twist is Johnny Majors. He finished as a Heisman runner-up in the 56 after leading the Vols to a 10-1 record. Now, this was in the 50s. And then, obviously, he came back and did something as a coach. Now, I'm not saying he's a slam dunk, but it's the same kind of a coach twist. And I don't know if you know this guy. Do you guys remember Conridge Holloway? So what Conridge Holloway is, he's one of the most important football players in history in the sense that he was the first black quarterback in the SEC. And he actually had some success at Tennessee as well. It wasn't like, it was just a whole –
It wasn't a token thing. The guy was actually good.
He was actually a really good quarterback. No, I'm not saying like – anyway, but he was a really good quarterback at that time. I think it was in the early 70s. But he was something that was very influential at Tennessee, which is why I think he should be in there. And you might say maybe even over someone like a Johnny Majors. And then lastly here, and I got a couple other names list, but Doug Atkins is a defensive end. And this was his bio or his little case, if you will, like a bio case. Physical force that anchored the 1951 National Championship defense. Considered one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the SEC during his history. Yeah, and I actually put this in a different spot here. Holloway was 25-9-2 as a starter. So those couple guys, I mean, for Tennessee, I think were good. You had Tennessee, Jason Witten, Jamal Lewis, Eric Berry, is others. But is anybody else you guys think for Tennessee?
T. Martin.
No, I was going to say Jamal Lewis. T. Martin.
Jamal Lewis is a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
T. Martin, it's funny. He won the national title right after Manning left. Manning was gone. They went the next year with T. Martin.
Yeah. Now, was he good more than
Tennessee coach Heupel could be on the second tier OU Montour won last natty win. Yep. Could be. But that's a good point, 47 straight. Good point.
Hold on, Jeff. So a little history with this. So that was the first year of the BCS title game ever. So here's my perspective of Tennessee when beating Florida State that year, Dudak. Remember that? Okay.
I do. Peerless Price and T. Martin. Yep.
I know. I'm going to tell my Ohio State ties into this in here in a second. That was 1998. Ohio State might have been the greatest Ohio State team I've seen until recent days. And Ohio State lost to Michigan State that year. I'm still pissed about that. Nick Saban coached against Ohio State in that game. Still, till this day, I'm still pissed about that loss. After all the shit we've done since 98, I'm still pissed about that loss. Come back to that in a minute, okay? We beat Michigan that year. Good job, Cooper. You finally beat Michigan that year. And so Tennessee played in the SEC title game. It's Arkansas. Arkansas was trying to knee the ball to win the game. The quarterback goes and was stumbling around and drops the ball as he's kneeing it, fumbles it. Tennessee picks it up, gets the ball, and scores 2 plays over and win the SEC title game. If that doesn't happen, Tennessee's not winning the national title game that year. And Florida State and Ohio State probably playing the title game, to be honest with you. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, but they won the title with T. Martin, and they had a good receiver on that team, too. It was from Dayton, Ohio. But, so sorry. There's a little history lesson there, but I don't like Tennessee.
Yeah. I don't mind them. I mean, that's one of the stadiums I want to go to. as well. But I mean, I think you could argue by putting Jason
Yeah.
Witten in there, maybe even over Johnny Majors or others too. But you can put in T. Martin, like you said. You're always saying T. Martin won the Natty, Peyton didn't. So I mean, yeah, exactly. That holds a lot of weight. Obviously, as a quarterback winning a championship. Yeah. So last one here, and then we're going to round up get out of here as well, is LSU. Now, Joe Burrow is an interesting one because he's only there the 1 year, but my God, was it a
2 years? He's there 2 years.
Was he 2
He's there 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. I thought he was only there one, but Jesus, when you do 5,600 yards, 60 touchdowns, and I mean, granted, when you what are the odds that you have the two best receivers in the NFL on your team in college? Seriously, right?
And Moss's kid at tight end, and
exactly.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire at running back. That team is so good. Yeah.
So the first one I put on there is because I was listening to ESPN College Radio on the way into work one day, and Kevin Falk, I put on here. If you remember him, he was a running back for the Patriots for a while, the whole receiving back, because Booger McFarland was on, and he was talking about LSU was Jeff, I think you guys mentioned like they were like in that rut of that 7-5, 8-4, maybe a 9-3, but never really doing anything. And Booger got recruited there, and then it took someone like Kevin Falk committed to LSU. And that's when they started turning things around. They started winning things. He was kind of like jump-started that program to go to the next level. So he rushed for 4,557 yards, second in SEC history. So for that reason, and because I heard that story a few weeks ago, I'm like, you know what? Kevin Falk probably is on LSU. I was thinking if I'm an LSU fan, I would put someone like Kevin Falk on my Mount Rushmore, right? Patrick Peterson, unanimous All-American, won the Chuck Bednarik and Jim Thorpe Award. Okay. He was really good. I mean, that's kind of like DBU because you could also throw, what about Tyrone Matthew or Matthew or Mathau?
Honey Badger?
Honey Badger.
I love the Honey Badger. Yeah.
I love the Honey Badger too. Yep. Adam was just saying
that
Honey
was
Badger.
Impactful. I don't know about his stats, but him, you associate him with LSU. Yeah,
you can make a case you put Honey Badger in over Peterson because of the name recognition, what he did. I don't know who had the better LSU career. Do you put Jamar Chase in? But you put Jamar Chase, but then you don't put in Justin Jefferson, or I don't know if you put one in there. And then the last name I throw out there is Glenn Dorsey, most decorative defensive lineman in LSU lore. Dorsey returned as senior citizen, and he anchored that 2007 national championship. Well, if he's considered the most decorative defensive lineman in LSU history, he's on the list.
I like it. Yeah,
he is on the list.
He's definitely on there. How about Faneca?
That's another guy who could be on the list.
Yeah.
You also have, the different Glenn Dorsey. They have another, more of a D lineman as well. But Faneca could definitely be on that list.
I put Burrow and Chase on there. I'm a Bengal guy, I get it, but I definitely put Burrow's on there. That's not a question.
Burrow's on there, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Maybe not Chase because then you got to put Jefferson on there too.
And then you have to put Odell on there. Not a great NFL career, those guys, but Odell was
Odell had a great NFL career, but what did he do in college? These guys trumped him in college, and they did it together in the same team.
Easily.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this as a closing question before we do wrap this up. We'd spoken about running backs being left off this list because they were sharing the workloads. Couldn't you say the same about Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson?
Could you?
I don't know.
The quarterback's one that's looking for the. I don't. Maybe that's a good question. I don't.
It's a good question. I think receivers a little bit different. It depends. I mean, they threw the ball so much.
They did.
So
they kind of took turns dominating a game from a receiver perspective.
Yeah.
And you had other guys. You had Moss's kid at tight end who was good in college. And there was another receiver there. I can't think of his name, but they had a third receiver that was really good too.
Jarvis Landry.
Was he on that team?
I mean, he wasn't on that team, but he was another guy to play receiver there. So
I put Glenn Dorsey on there for sure because that guy dominated the title game against Ohio State in 07. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the reason that 2-loss LSU team won the title game because West Virginia lost to Pitt. Whatever.
It's funny how the pettiness that they hold, with the whole backyard, bro. That pettiness of the thing. They even scheduled they lost, but they got the one quarterback essentially benched for Mason, but I think it was on September 13th, the 9/13. They wanted to schedule that for the whole third. Somebody said somebody was trying to pull strings to get that done. So the whole 13-9 stuff, which is hilarious. So
are they getting that game back on the schedule? By the way, the backyard brawl. They have to.
It's a couple more years down the road.
That should never go away.
It shouldn't.
I think college football games that should never go away. That's one of them.
I think that should be Pitt, Penn State, West Virginia. Maybe not every single year, but that should be on some type of a rotation because it's regional bragging rights. You know what I mean? And it should be one of those games that you throw records out the window. I know still, Penn State, whenever Franklin got a lot of the higher end recruiting and such. But I just think that should just be like that whole game. And you could even throw, and you get newer teams like a Cincinnati may coming in here with Pitt. I mean, they played a while. They played some good games, but I think West Virginia, Pitt, and Penn State should always play.
Those more historic than UC. Those three are more historic than UC is.
Yeah, and maybe you play even if it's one for a year. Then 1 year you play two of the guys, depending on your non-conference scheduling or your conference games, and that's a whole nother discussion. But I think those three should play every single year in some form or fashion.
Can I ask a question, Jeff? Kind of college football. Penn State coming in this year, the new coach staff. How do you feel about it? How's it looking there right now?
Their schedule is super weak. I don't love the Iowa State transfers, too many, but my expectation is that they'll be solid. They just have to go 10-2 and build on it because that their 27 and 28 classes are starting to shape up. My question is, I don't know that Campbell can recruit at a level that if we want to compete with Ohio State, you can't be a developer. You actually have to get 5-star guys like that. Anyone that thinks that we can get transfers like Indiana and transfer our way to a natty is crazy. You have to get talent. So jury's out, but my expectation is their schedule's so soft. They don't play Ohio State, Indiana, or Oregon this year.
Wow.
Right.
That's it. So,
I hate that we don't play this year because that's one of the games I always look forward to, but it's just the way it plays out right now.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, this was a blast. We're all an hour and 47 in. I thought this was going to be more of an hour and 15, but this conversation was great. Everybody in the chat was great. And, maybe we can do this again, man. This is, I have fun with Arthur Smith over here in Buckeye Land. He's like saying so.
True.
Baby.
It might finally be. Might be the nail in the coffin finally. I don't know.
Could be. We'll see. Get ready for 13 personnel in Ohio State, man. It's all over.
Oh.
It can work if it's done the right way. It's just the personnel groupings work. I just saw his play calling and some of his personnel groupings were puzzling at times. But
it's all about the talent you got. You guys into the town in Pittsburgh. We got it. Ohio State will be fine.
Listen, we had the 3 tight ends. We were all duped by John New Smith. I can tell you that right now.
I would take the Ohio. All jokes aside, I would literally take the Ohio State offensive talent over what he had with the Steelers. That's NFL to college. I get that, but still, that's.
Oh, listen, Jeremiah Smith is going to be a record-setting tight end or a receiver even in the NFL. So I get that. So listen, it's been a blast. It's beyond great talking ball with you guys. We could go another 2 hours if it wasn't 10 to 11 here, and I got to get to bed. But Jeff, where can people find you and tell us about you have your supplement business still going, or what's that going on?
Yeah, so I have genxhealthproducts.com. So supplements that anyone that's old like us that still wants to hit the gym and hang on to what
going from working out to preventive maintenance, but you still need the energy and the supplements to get the preventive maintenance.
That's right. But no crazy stuff. We're talking about creatine, magnesium, vitamin D. So only the essentials, but that's where you can find it.
Yep, absolutely, man. Listen, go and support another guy who's a regular contributor to the Burgh Cave, whether he's on camera or off camera with some topics. His schedules don't always align, but Jeff's a great resource for college football and NFL. So go help that man out and go grab some supplements.
Thank you,
Bozy,
brother.
what about
You
yourself?
find me in
Man?
the- you
Any
find me in
parting thoughts?
Yeah, you can find me in the Burgh Cave because that's the one they have going right now.
You can find me. You can find him at the Burgh Cave or at the community pool drinking on weekends.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Something's got to do it. I got to keep my tan going up. So you can find me in
Absolutely.
Florida in 2 weeks, by the way.
Absolutely. Hey,
No,
so again, what's that?
I would say, Jeff, I had a blast meeting you and talking to you. First time I ever talked to Jeff.
You
I
too,
loved
brother.
it. Yeah. And I have no hatred toward Penn State. That's a fun rivalry. I always like them. Don't like them, but I respect them. I'll leave it at that. You're not Michigan, so you're fine. So
I
think
agree.
you guys
I agree.
found some common
Michigan's
ground.
up here.
oh,
That's right.
fucking
They're
cheaters.
the worst. They're the
That
worst.
national title, man. I don't. You mentioned Harbaugh on there. I'm like, oh man, he
Hey.
cheated. He's not in.
Hey, listen, it was a blast, and we appreciate everybody in the chat. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel, help the algorithm, help the channel grow. We appreciate the comments in the chat. If you haven't already, please leave comments in below if you think of anything else after the show, or if you're watching this on the replay, comment in and tell us of any players we forgot, or you're telling us, good job, or you know what, you guys are full of shit, which is great. It doesn't matter. It's all about good football conversation. We will be back next Monday night with another live. Bozy and I, we might keep this college thing going because it's a slow time in the NFL right now, and there's a lot of football conversations we can have from college and NFL. We might continue that going. We still got to do our NFC preview like we did our AFC preview, kind of like this pre-camp talk, and we'll keep this going. And by the way, also dropping later this week on the Burgh Cave is college football trivia. I had the Pitt trivia going. I had the Yinzer trivia with the Steelers, Pirates, Penguins questions, and I got another one dropping. I'm finalizing the edits. So come back and check out the Burgh Cave sports trivia section, and let us know how you do with the 20 questions. See how good you know your sports. It's been a lot of fun, gentlemen. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.